Good evening. Tonight we are beginning our meeting for the Winterville Human Relations Board for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. This meeting is being officially called to order at this time. We are going to ask that our Councilwoman Robertson, our liaison, please lead us in the invocation, and immediately after we will proceed with our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we first give thanks to you for giving us this wonderful day in our community. We thank you for all the blessings that you've bestowed upon us and our community. We ask that you continue to bless us, continue to help our community to grow, and continue to help us do the things that will help us to be the community that everyone wants to live in. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everyone to our July 24th Winterville Human Relations Board meeting. Are there any excused absences? So we have no excused absences. All members are present. Next is our approval of the agenda. If we could quickly look through the agenda, and then I'd like to entertain a motion, if someone make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
I have a motion made by co-chair Rashana Carmen to approve the agenda and seconded by Mr. Dennis Bottoms. Can we have a show of hand in agreement with that motion and that second? We have all present members to go with that motion, and the motion has passed unanimously. Thank you. Next, we're on item number 7, which are items of discussion. The first item of discussion is new Winterville Human Relations Board member. And so, Mr. Harvey, if you could please share the name of the prospective newest member, and then this newest member's name would be provided to Town Council on our August 4th meeting.
As is the normal procedure in putting new people on a voluntary advisory board, Council is provided with all the applicants that have expressed an interest in serving on a board. The ones, and these are in the order that I received them: LaTanya Jones, Christy Leary, Dee Parker, and Sheree Daniels. And that will be Council's decision as far as the selection of the person to go on the board.
And so, Mr. Harvey, I'm going to ask just for transparency for all those that are watching and for board members present. Those applicants, the Town Council will be provided with their full applications so that we can look through.
Correct. They will be provided to Council, and they will be in the agenda packet that is presented to the Sunshine List and or anyone else that requests.
Thank you. And then at that point, Council Upon review, we will select who we think would best fit the role for our, to fill the seat of the Human Relations Board, to fill the empty seat. Do we have any discussion about that, board, in terms of the process for the selection? Do we have any questions, any discussion on item number 1? If not, we're going to move to item number 2, and that is the alternate Winterville Human Relations Board member. Mr. Harvey, if you could explain what the alternate is and how the alternate is selected.
Okay, also in the agenda packet for Town Council on Monday, August the 4th, and it will precede the nomination of new members because we wanted to make sure the cart was before the horse here, was not before the horse, with the horse leading. Should council see fit to allow for there being an alternate member, and it is going to them as a recommendation from you all that they do approve that, then there would be an alternate member that would serve on the board. Then council would then come and they would name the member, and then they will also name an alternate member. An alternate member serves just like a regular member, can be voting. The most that can vote, though, are 6 people. So if everyone's here one night, they're welcome to come in, participate in the meeting, everything, but they couldn't vote. However, if one member is absent, then they move in and are allowed to vote, just like a regular member is. I'd be glad to answer any other questions.
Does any of our board have any additional questions or need for clarification?
How long are the terms for the alternate and as well for the new board members? How long are their terms?
2 years, 2-year terms. And I would say there are 2-year terms alternating as best we can now with 7 members. It's tough to get 2, because that would throw it off. But we have them, they're sort of split up. And I'm glad you said that. 2 of you all, oh, don't ask me right now. 2 of you terms expired in June, so they are also on the item that will go to council for them to be reappointed for another 2-year term. There is a limit of 3 2-year terms, which is 6 years, that a member can serve on human relations. And that sort of, that's in the bylaws.
Thank you. Any other additional questions? And then for the board, if ever any board members desire an additional copy of the bylaws to review, just upon request.
Yeah, and since they will be amended, that will be on council's agenda to make that amendment, that's really the only thing in it. And when we got it in line that members would be appointed just like all voluntary boards are in the town. But yes, if you would beg with me till at least August the 5th to, pending them making their final decision on that, I will have a copy. It's about 4 or 5 pages of the bylaws with the amendment effective as of August the 4th.
Town Clerk Harvey, I have a question in terms of amendments via the bylaws. What specifically will be amended? Are we speaking of terms, or what else would be amended? Just so that the board will, what amendment?
Well, the only thing is to add the alternate member.
Okay, okay.
And
just
I've got to look and I have to have a little bit of a conversation to make sure that the latest took care of all the other provisions that were done. And I think it was in October of 22 or 23 that we brought that in line. And should I find something that was not in that, that would be included also. But really, the only thing substantive at this time is adding the alternate member.
Thank you. Any other board members have any questions with regards to the alternate board member? If not, we'll move on to number 3, College Winterville Human Relations Board member. Town Clerk Harvey, if you could explain that, and then.
With the provisions in the bylaws allow there to be college or student ID, members. So they can be appointed, but they would be appointed by the board just like all other members.
What is the process, I'm sorry, what is the process of compiling a list of prospective college, those who are in college that have an interest? Do we send that out? How does that work?
There's not really a set way, but we will want an application, just like we have applications from anyone else to be. It has not specifically been pushed or advertised at this point in time. It may be something you want to discuss to see how and what you would like to see done. It's something, one thing we can do is I can put it out on social media, the website, and even in the newsletter, but any other ways that you so desire would be fine also.
Does any other board member have any question with regards to the College Human Relations Board member? If not, we will move on to item number 4, which is the Winterville Human Relations Board information presentation. This presentation.
Did you decide, did the board decide on how they are going to pursue a high school or college member? I don't think you all really came to the point of making a decision as to how you want to do it.
So I don't want to answer for the board, but I know that applications, that they will need to fill out applications. Now, that application can prospectively go out on the town's website.
It is already, but it doesn't say specifically push it for students. But I could put it that, sort of lump it all together that way.
So we might need to specify.
Yeah, I think if we're at that point, I'd like to have some guidance in how you would like to get that out there to the, I reckon, Pitt, and it can include ECU, I think the way it was written, and then the high schools that feed in from here into the town.
Now, also, would we, because we're about to do the presentation, is there a limit? Is there a limit of high school? Is there a limit of college? Because we know we have a limit of board members. So that would be really important to know so that those who are applying will, you know, be aware of that.
Bylaws state too, don't they?
That's
think
what
they
I was
do.
double checking. I would just need to verify
I don't have
in the
mine with me.
bylaws. I'm going back to them as quickly as I can and try to keep up
Sure,
with everything
sure.
else.
And it's in this presentation, but just as we were on that item, but it's going to spell it out in the presentation as well. And I think that this presentation would be equally valuable, like if we could send it out to the town as well, so they'll have information about the
I know that different schools have programs, like, I guess, DEM, College DEMs, or College Republicans, stuff like that, different organizations. We could probably reach out to them to see what they are doing, or if they would be interested in partnering with us, maybe some partnerships would fit, being that they are in Winterville.
I think that that's a great idea.
One of the civics teachers at South Central, that's one of the things that her students can do. They come and sit in on our meeting, and it might be that, you know, through her or through these civics teachers at the high school, that we could get notice out. Because on our newsletter, unfortunately, most of the people look at the light bills and that's it, you know. And we found that that's not as good as Mr. Harvey puts in time to do it. He does an excellent job with it, but our citizens don't always see stuff. So I would suggest to you that you maybe that suggest to the board that they maybe contact them directly, the high schools or the teachers. What do you, I know, Mr. Bottoms, you worked at the high school.
But I was in Green County.
Well, high schoolers,
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of a thing. But I do know that if we could work out a partnership maybe with a civics teacher to get somebody to come, you know, and that kind of a thing, that might be something that would be helpful in pulling some volunteers.
Yeah, I think it would be great if we could personally go and speak to the schools, just to kind of let them know what we're doing and kind of engage that way, so we can have a chance to meet them and, you know, talk to them. I think that would be a little bit more personal if we could do that. Could we even go to the schools, Councilwoman Robinson?
I think you'd have to get permission. I know you got to get permission. You can't even, we used to could send papers to school, you know, announcements and stuff, but now they have to be approved in Greenville.
Okay, so who would we have to go through to do that?
I would go directly to the superintendent's office
Okay.
or something like that, you know, in order to just see what you can do, and or even just to present the idea to them.
Or you can, just us being here locally, we have local elementary school, we have local middle school and high school. You can go in, talk to the principal. They'll probably most likely have you meet with the guidance counselors and then move from there. And then I also know that Pitt Community College does have a student government. So then there's someone there that leads that program. So collectively, with all of those areas, we will probably be able to get some interest just to know what human relations is in terms of that, and our mission and how governance works as well. Because it's more so we're nearing towards like how we relate as humans and how we get along, collaboration, communication, and that's a big thing in school now, especially for 21st century learners. I think that would be great.
Are we trying to go into the school as a board to talk to the students? Because if so, I can reach out to the JRTC department because they do teach government. And they would be more than happy for you to come in to give them a presentation. If we're trying to go into the school.
Yeah, that's what the co-chair Carmen said, like going in, just letting them know that we're here and what the Human Relations Board is, and just kind of like what we're doing in the community. Yeah.
There are some students that, they live in Pitt County, but they attend the early college in Jamesville. Would they be eligible, or do they have to attend the college in Pitt County? For instance,
Let me
like my-
clarify what the bylaws say. We were talking about that a minute ago, so, find it, get it back up. Town council may, in its discretion, appoint up to 2 high school and 2 college/university student representatives from high schools and/or colleges and universities located which serve the town of Winterville.
And Mrs. Smith, that's on our board, is the principal of the school in Janesville.
That's what made me ask.
So that would really be good, that, you know.
Okay. We have any additional questions with regards to members or alternate college, new? If not, we're going to proceed with number 4, going into our Winterville Human Relations Board information presentation. So this is the Winterville Human Relations Board. It is a presentation to give an introduction and a review of the board itself.
Got to hit the right one. Pointed back, I found it pointed back this way was it.
Having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we'll get there. So this is the right button, and it's not.
Maybe you can point it closer.
Sure. Sure. I'll just say next. While we're waiting, as part of the Human Relations Board, we want to always stay in touch with each other. So as we are waiting, I'd just like to starting by saying one good thing that happened to me today. And then while Mr. Harvey is trying to get that technical difficulty resolved, I'm going to share one good thing that happened to me and then ask that each board member chime in. A good thing that happened to me today is that my dog Honey Bun was eager to go outdoors today and come right back when I called her. So that was a good thing. I typically take my dog Honey Bun out, and she doesn't want to come in. And in this inclement weather, is no, you need to come in. So she came right back in. So that was a great thing that happened to me. Any other board member want to share a good thing? Mr. Bottoms?
I recently visited Booker T. Washington Museum, and when I got there, I was the only one in the building, and the park ranger comes in and says, "Sir, we are closed." But it was my birthday, and he locked the front door so no one could come in, so I had the Booker T. Washington Museum all to myself for my birthday.
Wow. Wow. That was a good thing. Okay, thank you. Does anybody else, thank you. Does anybody else want to share a good thing? Don't it make you feel good in your heart when you share a good thing?
I attended the opening of the Culture and Recreation Center out on out there by Ellis King today, and that was well attended. And it's really a nice facility. I was also at the one on, I think it was Monday, when they opened the one over the river. And they're pretty much identical centers, but they're really nice. I think they're going to add a lot to our community.
Very nice. Anybody else? If not, the window is closing. Okay. So we are going to proceed with the presentation that is up now, and it is an introduction and review of the Winterville Human Relations Board, and begin with the mission statement. The mission statement is promoting a community of whole person, wellness, dignity, safety, equity, and inclusion for all citizens of Winterville. The purpose of the Winterville Human Relations Board is the study of problems in the area of human relations, the promotion of equity for all citizens, the promotion of understanding, respect, and goodwill among all citizens, the provision of channels of communication among diverse groups, encouraging the employment of qualified people without and regard to race, color, religion, gender, sex, age, national origin, disability, or genetic information, and encouraging youth to become better trained and qualified for employment. Why your interest in joining the Winterville Human Relations Board is important. It supports the mission of the Winterville Human Relations Board. You will gain opportunities to make suggestions that will affect the human relations within our town, promotes increased engagement in town events, and serves as a model to neighbors and other neighboring towns. Membership. The Town Council will endeavor to create a composition for the Winterville Human Relations Board that daily represents the social, economic, gender, and ethnic composition of the population in town. The initial membership designation, the mayor shall, is that correct? Did we update it? The mayor shall nominate one member. This is, I don't think this is current.
That's not current.
Yeah, it's not current.
That was the initial membership.
That was initial, yes.
And that has since been amended. So the town council members make the nominations. As Town Clerk Harvey said, we receive applications, and then based on the review of those, we make nominations. All nominees must reside within the town of Winterville. In the event any nominees are not approved by the town council, the person making the original nomination shall submit an alternate nomination. Current membership designation, Citizens complete applications to fill vacancies. Applicants provided information about Winterville Human Relations Board and membership process. Applicants are then voted on, approved, or nominated. Really nominated and then approved. Here's the portion where we talk about the membership terms of service, and this is, all members will serve a 2-year staggered term. No member shall serve more than 3 consecutive terms. Each member shall hold office until the qualification and appointment of his or her successor, or until 1 year has lapsed since the expiration of the term for which the member was appointed, whichever first occurs. And in order to establish staggered terms, the original voting members of the Winterville Human Relations Board shall be appointed as follows: 2 members for a 1-year term, 2 members for a 2-year term, 2 members for a 3-year term. Has that been updated?
Well, it's passed because that was the way we set them up initially.
Yes.
Now that we have a board, they'll come on and they'll do a 2-year term. That would be my interpretation.
Additional membership composition. The town council may, in its discretion, appoint up to 2 high school and 2 college university students which serve the town of Winterville. Such student representatives will be non-voting members of the Winterville Human Relations Board. The town council shall appoint 1 member of the town council to act as the liaison of the Winterville Human Relations Board. The appointed liaison shall attend the Winterville Human Relations Board meets and keep the town council informed of the activities of the Winterville Human Relations Board. The town clerk shall serve as the staff liaison of the Winterville Human Relations Board. And we have both of them here present. Thank you. The current Winterville Human Relations Board is comprised of Chantel Hawkins, Chair, Rashana Carmen, Co-Chair, Dennis Bottoms, Deirdre Gregory, and Shatoria Roach.
Would that be vice chair?
Say it again.
The co-chair, vice chair?
It could be.
Shouldn't it be vice
Or
chair?
co-chair. And we can look at some other,
I've checked the bylaws to see. I think it was chair and vice chair.
so vice chair. And we'll amend that up here on this presentation as well. The accomplishments that the Winterville Human Relations Board has had so far. We assisted in distributing Thanksgiving meals to families. We were present at town Christmas gathering. We also gave out blankets for Christmas to our elderly here in Winterville. We had a Winterville Human Relations Board Mental Health Awareness Day. We also had the Community Conversations Roundtable and plans ahead for back to school. That should say support.
Juneteenth.
And we also had, thank you, we also had Juneteenth Movie in the Park, which was an amazing and outstanding community event that brought hundreds out. So that was huge accomplishments in gearing towards our mission statement. Goal set. This is a goal that we set, and that is to distribute a town survey to the citizens of Winterville. And the purpose is to provide an opportunity for the citizens of Winterville to respond by anonymous survey to share their needs, ideas, or concerns. When we first began our Human Relations Board, I would say in that first cohort, we were left at a current status where we drafted surveys, so we have a concrete survey, and it was approved, but we never distributed. We were trying to decide, would this go out in utility bills, mailings? We didn't know what would best fit. Ultimately, I believe we said distributing in utility bills, because that would more so target our in-town residents. However, this needs to be brought before this cohort of board members so that we could talk about it a little bit more, so that you can have eyes on the survey questions and or update or amend those, so that you'll know what's going out, so that we can be all in sync with this. Yes.
So, sorry, but in thinking about the survey, I think we probably should make an amendment or maybe add, to kind of gear towards what our mission is, like specifically, like in the different areas, of wellness, dignity, and safety, and things like that. And I know we do have a couple of events coming up where we could probably distribute surveys or, be able to personally have it, like the Watermelon Festival is coming up, so that would be a great place to do it. I know we also have National Night Out. That might be another great opportunity to survey the citizens as well. So if we could probably update that or maybe have discussion about some things that we could add in there.
And also, if we can, is it electronic form or like QR code to kind of reach more people?
So that's why I was so glad we have our new cohort, which we did not think about QR codes. And I know, Vice Chair, you and I, we were at the last Watermelon, but we had kind of like paper.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything digital, but if we could possibly survey via like a document that they can just type in really quickly. Sometimes people, it's more efficient to do that, but at the upcoming events, sure and certainly. And we do have space at the upcoming Watermelon Festival that I wanted to share with you all, so that we can, and we'll talk about that a little further at another time, but so that we can be present at the Watermelon Festival to offer the opportunity of a survey. And then also I want the board to be able to have eyes on the full survey, because you might see something we didn't see before. And then also, like Vice Chair Carmen said, is it intertwined with our mission statement? Do you see that? Do you see that? Do our liaisons see that? And we worked on it quite a bit, but it may need another look before we proceed.
Oh, I was just wondering, will we be, I'm trying to, the date of the Watermelon Festival, I don't know if we will be meeting before then to kind of fix that, or if we can just do it through email.
So we won't be meeting again, but we can most certainly communicate, collaborate via email. It won't be a formal meeting, but we know that we have a survey. We know that we're going to provide a survey. Like we did a paper one last time, but I think the one that we have, it needs another review. Yeah, we're not gonna have another meeting before then. But we can review it, go over it, and see how that looks with pushing it out to the town.
And I think once we kind of solidify the survey, I have something where I can create a QR code for that.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be good too, and this is the last comment, but you know how at the Watermelon Festival, if we have a booth, how some people have the iPads, they complete the survey, they get like a gift if we have something, something small, it doesn't have to be expensive,
Yeah.
but to promote participation.
I love that idea.
Yep.
That increases engagement. If you know you're gonna get a keychain, or you're gonna get a pen, a notebook, whatever, I think that that's wonderful.
So we can communicate that through email. When is the Watermelon Festival, Mr. Hardy?
22nd, 21st, actually. 21st through the 24th. It's Thursday, the 21st is the first day, through Sunday, the 24th. We don't meet again till the 28th.
By such short notice, isn't it kind of late to revise these surveys? Shouldn't we just send out what we have now, and then after our next meeting, we can revise it at the next meeting?
So, yes, we have one. We have a concrete one. I could send it out to you, whether it be revised or not, so that you could have an overview of it, so that you could look at it, see if there's anything you think shouldn't be in there or not. Why is that important? Because it was compiled without your eyes on it. And I want to make sure that you all see what we're sending out, what we're pushing out. So we can definitely, I can send that out tonight so that you can see it.
I don't think it'll be like, I don't think it's too late. I think that it's like a quick update we could do, like push it out, to have it readily available. And I was gonna ask you, Mr. Harvey, if we were running to like survey like Winterville, like how would we go about pushing that information out or giving that survey to the citizens?
Well, the QR code sure will get, because that's easy to post in so many of our different outlets versus something. But then one of the automated survey tools that I'm sure you know about, probably because don't they tabulate the results?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that it's not a, like I said, like you all have said, a paper document that's got to have something. Now, the thing about that, those that are not either on computer or computer savvy, you may need to have something for that population.
You can have some hard copies on the side with pens or pencils, as well as devices for them.
One more thing, and then I promise. Okay, so if we would like to send it out as well, I guess for the bills, it could go for the electric utility. How soon will we need to have that to you?
Well, first of all, I want to check on that, but it would, to go in September would be August the 7th.
Okay.
Any more discussion in terms of the survey?
Now, we are posting the newsletter on the website and everything, so people can do that, and I can also push the newsletter on the front or through social media too.
Push your survey.
Push the survey or if it was a part of the newsletter. Because you could get people that latch into it from all kinds of different avenues, would be my estimation.
Sounds great. Any more discussion on the survey?
Would someone be willing to go on radio or
Say that again.
on radio to discuss the survey? Anybody except you, Chantel, because of the fact that, excuse me, Councilwoman Hawkins, because you are a candidate. We need to protect that.
Well, the one radio station is very welcome to always wanting material. So,
And so if our vice chair or our vice chair
I'd
will
be
be,
willing.
she would be more than willing,
I would be willing to do
to articulate the, survey and its availability and what we'll do with it. So not only the purpose of us providing it, but, you know, what we'll do with the results. And that's ultimately seeing what the people here need, want, ideas, and suggestions. Any other discussion on the survey? Lots of great ideas and discussions on our survey. Okay, and so now we'll continue with the presentation. So we're at meetings. We meet once per month. It's designated for the fourth Thursday of each month, and the time set for meetings to begin at 7 p.m. Does anybody have any discussion about those? Additional bylaws will be shared with you in addition to you receiving a copy for your reference upon you formally becoming a member of the Winterville Human Relations Board. So again, as I shared, there's additional copies upon request if you need one to reference. If you have any questions about it, it's very important that you are clear on everything.
Madam Chair, and once we get the amendment done, I will post that in the section near on the website also.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reviewing the Winterville Human Relations Board information presentation. Are there any questions or comments? And of course, if you have a question or comment that comes up later, just share, let us know. So now we're moving on to number 5 in the items of discussion, the current mission statement. So I know our previous meeting, we lightly discussed some changes in language that has come about to a variety of organizations, boards. So for me, when we look at this, are there any words in our mission statement that could be deemed as like, I don't know. Are there any words in our mission statement that might lend itself to be, I don't know, I'm trying to say an overkill or too much or not too much? Now, I know in terms of like the school system, the word diversity or equity, things of that nature, had to be taken out. So when we look at the word equity in our mission statement, us as a board, we can decide and we can look and decide if this is deemed offensive or overstepping boundaries. Also, the word inclusion. Now, while we're thinking about this, we need to cross-check and go back to the very core of this board. This board is the Human Relations Board. And when you think of relationships amongst humans, what words would you like to stay, be removed? Or as a board, do we want to decide to construct and develop an entirely new, different mission statement?
Well, for me, I like the statement as it is, because when talking about relationships, they should be equitable. They should include everyone. So if we take those words out, I feel that's still our mission. So we could put a synonym in, but isn't this what we stand for when we develop this mission statement? So I don't know why there would be a change, but I mean, that's just my standpoint.
Thank you. Anybody else have any discussion? Because at the very fiber of what we're doing as a Human Relations Board, we have to drive it from our mission statement. And as Mrs. Gregory just said, you know, some of these words are pertinent to relating with human relations. Mr. Bottoms, do you have any?
Well, for inclusion, I would say we can use the same thing, a welcoming environment is the same. So it was different terminology, saying the same thing.
Still saying the same thing.
A welcoming environment.
Welcome environment.
Are you saying you want to
Yes.
put in welcome environment?
You want,
And you can, if we replace inclusion, then, and welcome environment will be the same.
just to change that name so prospectively it won't be so sensitive. Or we want everybody to feel comfortable with our mission statement. But that's up to the board and how we vote. And so welcoming environment could replace prospectively inclusion. Is there any other word? And then we can also, as a board, recreate the whole mission statement. But when we look at the totality of this mission statement, is this not what we have been doing? Is this not what we have been targeting?
Yes. And I didn't know if there has there been a disagreement as far as why we should change it, or I don't feel we should change it if we're trying to be proactive or trying to avoid what may come if there's any type of confusion. Because I think we've had this, I mean, this is a fairly new mission statement. I think we just, was it last year or was it this year? So I don't know if there's some confusion, maybe we can. I just didn't know the reason for the change.
So I think, thank you, Ms. Gregory, for your question. At the conclusion of our last meeting and discussion, we were just saying, hey, we might need to look at the mission statement again because of so many different changes in terms of the words. I think it was mentioned, Vice Chair's, the back of her shirt or something, because the back of her shirt had the mission statement on it. And for my processing it, I don't see anything that needs to be changed. However, we want to gear towards not offending anyone. But if this word offends someone, what other word would offend? And then if that word is offend, like.
And how can, like, equity, inclusion, I don't know, how that's offensive when it's, like you said, welcoming environment. That may offend someone, I don't know how, but I don't know how this can offend anyone either. But I guess in order to make a change, first I always like to see what's the goal, like what is our goal? So if it's not to offend anyone, who would be offended? How can they be offended? Then I think then we'll go back to the drawing board, but I think we'll just be going in circles because anything can be offensive to a different group of people. But when we made this mission statement, it was so so everyone can feel included. So if we start trying to change for different groups, then we're kind of getting away from the mission of the Human Relations Board, I feel.
Anyone else have any discussions? And that is why we're here, because we are representatives in the community that value human relations. This was the mission statement developed, and so unless there's one of the board members who like to make a motion that we change it, we're going to keep it the same. If down the line, something through legislation comes to us to say that we need to change it, then we will make amendments, so we will bring this back before the board at that time. To be honest, I think every human relations board, commission, group has these similar words in them. And so if I find that they are changing, I will bring it to your attention. But I wanted us to be clear on any conversations, or you might hear, we can't use equity or inclusion, or, but we'll come back to the drawing board. Unless we are addressed by this within the town, we are electing to keep it the same. Are we in agreement?
You want me to get our attorney to look at it to make sure that we're in line with what government does, what our government is responsible for? I can do that.
Yes,
And
if
then
you could
have
have
him to
the
report.
town attorney, and then have him, if it's anything different, have him provide us a reference of what makes it different, or what statute, or what is delegating us to make that change, so that when we do it, we can be clear and transparent as to why we're making a change. Any other discussions in the current mission statement? And at any time, our board can revisit this, update, amend, add on as we go. Next, we're on number 6 of items for discussion, back to school support for their return. And so at our last meeting, we discussed how we could support our local schools here in Winterville in their return to school. Initially, we were going to have a schools out. That was close to our Juneteenth. We had just finished the mental health awareness, community conversations, and then Juneteenth. So we wanted to provide an event that's not rushed, but we also want to be supportive. So we talked about back to school support, and I think we were going to target 1 school or 2 schools. That entails getting in touch with the school counselor, and then them identifying students who can benefit from some additional school supplies, as well as our amazing teachers. They can never run out of things. So we have Town Clerk Harvey, if you can share with us what we have ordered and what we're going to move forward with doing.
Well, I can't share everything that you ordered,
Okay.
but those that were on the list have been ordered and have been received and are in storage here until time of school going back.
Thank you. And Thank you, Town Clerk Harvey. And what we can do as a board is to identify a date that we would like to bring the items to, to the school. They'll probably ultimately be distributed by the school counselors, but there'll have to be a prospective date where we, the principal knows we're coming, the school counselors, so that we can meet and present this to them. And so, we don't have a date because we have to make sure it's okay with the school. But we do have the items. That's a great thing. And how does that look? Do we want to talk about how does that look? Do we want to put them in bags? Do we want to decorate them? Do we want to, sometimes some schools the students don't want to be identified as having a need. How do we do that discreetly, or how do we just present this to principal, school counselor, and letting them know this is from our board for them? Any discussion?
When is,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
when does school start?
26. Oh, that's 25th, I'm sorry, that Monday, 25th. School start back to 25th, and go back on the 18th. Did you go back on the 18th?
18th?
They know that, go back a week prior to. My question, when you present this stuff, 9 or 10 times, the social worker at your school's gonna be the one that's actually gonna deal with these kids. If we present it to the social worker or the school counselor, the student's not gonna know where the stuff came from because they're gonna get it from the social worker or the school counselor. So my question is, are we going to present it to them prior to the kids coming back, or we're gonna present it to them after school? Because the first week of school, as you know, can be kind of hectic for all teachers and students.
It can be. I've seen it done prior to school, like how the staff comes a week or so before.
Right.
And we show up, people have shown up to the schools I'm in, and, we show up as a group and say, hey, and then, they look through the stuff, and we could tell them, like, these are for your teachers, these are for your students. And that's how it's typically done. Just providing that additional support. Anybody else have any experiences or ideas with how the school supplies are? It's typically ahead of time. And then that's when the school counselor will identify some students via their list of students who might need, or distribute it evenly. And then making sure that teachers have enough, and it is really welcome. It is really appreciated. So with schools starting with staff coming back on the 18th, maybe did we say what school we wanted to? I know we talked about, there are 3 elementary schools. We got W.H. Robinson, we have Ridgewood, we have Creekside. So those are your Winterville elementary schools. So do we want to just identify 1, 2, or 3? Those are elementary. Then we also have A.G. Cox. That is your middle school. You have South Central. That is your high school. I'm gonna be honest, every one of them need, but we can either, identify what saved the board.
I guess to see how many, because I don't know the quantity of items purchased, I guess then we'll see how many schools can.
Yeah, I think from our previous discussion, I think we kind of identified one school. We identified one school, but I don't know if that was, I don't know, town clerk, if we made a motion, this school, I think it was just us in discussion. Um, but honestly, I think the order will suffice for one school. A set number of teachers and a set number of students. So, so if we say one school, I think it was W.H. Robinson.
Just so people will know, I know why W.H. Robinson was chosen. Not that I don't agree, but, we don't want to
Yeah,
think that because
I think when you get out both to Creekside and definitely Ridgewood, is that it?
yes.
We start pulling in some non-Winterville residents as much. I can't speak too much for Creekside, but I think fairly much Robinson pulls in Winterville residents,
And
if that makes any difference.
we love them all. We love the teachers. We appreciate our future leaders. But I think we targeted W.H. Robinson because it's kind of in the heart of Winterville. I don't think we identified it as being a school with like more needs or not needs, Title I schools, because I think all of them are. But I just think we targeted it as right here in the middle of Winterville. And so was that, in the minutes, Town Clerk Harvey, did we? Yeah. School. Can I have a motion, for the school to be identified as a school that we will support as a Human Relations Board?
so moved. Oh, I'll make a motion that W.H. Robinson be the school.
I second that motion.
We have a motion made by Mrs. Gregory that W.H. Robinson be the school that we identify for our back-to-school support, and it was seconded by Mr. Dennis Bottoms. Can we have a show of hands in lieu of this motion and second? And we have a unanimous vote to approve the motion. So we know that we are definitely going to support W.H. Robinson. We have the items. We just have to now reach out to, probably it's going to be the school counselor. And for them to tell us what, like maybe 2 or 3 dates, so that we as a board can know when we can get together on a specific date and present it. Like have the most of us we can have be there just to present it. And if they're coming back on the 18th, that they are loaded with meetings that day, I don't know. They may be working in their classrooms, but I can definitely give them a call. I don't know if anyone's there tomorrow. They've been having meetings, but I can call to find out which date is best. The principal might know. And she might be able to connect with the school counselor to confirm. Do we have any other discussion or questions about our back-to-school support for the students and teachers returning?
You could set the time and date, and then the members of your board meet you there. That would be very, I think that would probably work well for everyone involved, including you, because of course you're employed by the school system. So
Say it again, Councilwoman Robinson.
that you would call and set the date and time with the principal, and then allow your board members to know they would meet today, so that you can document what you're doing.
Yes,
My,
will do.
my question is, if we look at the calendar, what day can all of us personally meet? Because if we present to school with 2 dates that we all can be there, it'll be better versus the school giving us the date, because then they give us the date. We got to try to come around versus if we look at our calendar and give them 2 dates, they're more inclined to accept one of the other dates.
And to be honest, the school counselor and the principals are probably there before the 18th.
Yeah,
They're there.
all the time.
So, I mean, we can look like,
But I thought we was trying to go back, we was trying to present it while to the teachers while they was there.
well, we want to present it to the teachers, yeah, if they're available. We want to present it to that school counselor, because they're going to disseminate it to the teachers and to the staff. But you are right, Mr. Bottoms. We want to make sure some teachers are there, at least. So we know that teachers are coming back on the 18th. So, to be honest, I'm not gonna be available on the 18th.
Right.
Because I gotta return.
That's gonna be a tough day for the school, but,
So,
and that Friday's gonna be a tough day for the school also, and the 22nd will be a tough day for the school.
so let's do this. What if we use our time efficiently right now and like, once we get home, try to figure out what 2 dates are good for you, and then send them in via email to each other. And then we look at the consensus. Most of us are available, you know what I mean? Because I would have to stop and look through my everything right now. I know the 18th is not gonna work for me, I know. And we don't have to do it, that first week. Maybe we could do it the second week
Second week
of
of,
school, after school
oh, okay,
begins.
definitely, yes,
Mhm.
definitely.
Because the first week, they're just disseminating who has what anyway. Then they really could be able to tell who needs, because that's a lot of what goes on the first week of school, going over the formalities and who has what. So maybe by then, and if we could send something into each other this week, we could kind of have a roundabout, you know, and, so we'll table the date, and then also when you give a prospective date, maybe give a time that you think you know, in the day. Because, you know, school ends at, I think W.H. Robinson began getting dismissed about 2:10, 2:20. So we want to get there at least by 1:30. Is there any further discussion on the back-to-school support for the student and staff return? If there aren't any further discussions, we know that we are going to provide an update of a date and time when we are available, and we're going to look for a consensus. And now we're moving on to comments from the board members. Comments.
I just had a quick comment, maybe for a future agenda item, maybe at the next meeting, because it brought to my attention when we were talking about going into the high schools and talking about the Human Relations Board. I think it'll be a good idea to start developing how we can just develop the youth council. So kind of putting that on the forefront, especially with school starting and that's already going into the schools. I think that would be a good idea.
I think that that's an amazing idea. that should be definitely at the forefront, and it will definitely be on the next agenda. In the interim, I will seek to see if I can have some youth present. Just come and watch us, and just get their interest in terms of that, just inviting them out. Um, But we want to have a subcommittee, Youth Human Relations Board. And that's what the town council voted on. We have so many youth here in Winterville, and they want to be involved, they want to come out, but this would be an additional way that they can do it. Thank you for, that comment, Ms. Gregory.
And one more thing maybe we could put on the agenda.
Sure.
Revitalizing the Winterville Cemetery. I know we talked about it last, it was just talked about briefly, but I think that would be a great, just mission or something for us to do. I don't know the official name of it, the one that's in North Winterville Cemetery?
I refer to it as north because it is north,
Okay.
just north of Winterville.
Because a lot of us didn't know about it. I don't know how many in the town doesn't know about it, so I think that would be something to happen.
Can you speak to that a little more? Like you said, revitalizing it, the North Cemetery?
I think we
We getting a new sign,
okay. I didn't know if there was something that needed to be.
a new
done.
sign, but also, you know, as far as the history and stuff like that. So more, I don't guess it would be revitalizing, more like informing or something. Anyway, just kind of letting the town know about it. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
That's what I mean, not revitalized. I didn't know if it needs to be, because like I said, I didn't know it was there. So,
You've seen it since then?
yes, I make sure to look over there. So yes, just I guess bring an awareness to it. I think that would be something we
Okay.
can do.
Like an opening ceremony, out there at the.
We
with
put
the
new sign.
With the new sign, that would
Oh,
be
yeah,
ideal.
that would be good. Yes, okay.
If we can get the media, and also, because again, until the last meeting, I didn't know Winterville had a cemetery other than the one
Right there.
on Reeder Branch Road, I think.
Yes.
That's the only one I knew of.
Have you seen it
I have since you.
since then?
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
y'all have seen it.
Yes,
I wasn't at the last meeting. Where's it located?
down the road, around the corner.
Really, it is though.
Really?
It really is. Near
Oh.
Boys and Girls Club. You know, when you go down by the Boys, Fire Tower, Boys and Girls Club, you know, you cross the railroad. Before you cross that railroad, look to your left or your right one. Anyway, whichever way, if you're going down, look to your left. Right before you get to the railroad, and you'll see the cemetery right there. You've been going by, got two great big crepe myrtles. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Gregory. Any other comments from the board members? So I would just like to make a comment to state that while this is our first board meeting in the assembly room, I think it went really well. It was exceptionally productive. We reviewed many items. We looked at the information about the Winterville Human Relation Board, and I think that we are doing an amazing job. I would like to thank every board member for being a part of this great new move here in Winterville and the things that we seek to accomplish. I think we're doing an amazing job. Thank you, and I'm honored to be a part of you. And if there's no other comments, I would like to ask that we have a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
A second.
We have a motion to adjourn by Ms. Shatoria Roach and seconded by Vice Chair Carmen. Can we have a show of hands? And that move is anonymous. That motion is unanimous. And so we are officially adjourned. Thank you.